Hi, welcome back to the blind LP of Eagle Eye Mysteries in London. We are now going to start on Case of the Rajah's Ruby. Rajah might be related to India, but I can't be sure. We'll see. Right, my mouse is not inside the game. Okay, there we go. How does your day look, Jake? Are you free to join me at Snoopy's this morning? Snoopy's? I guess so, Uncle Bess. What's going on over there today? Only one of the most thrillingly anticipated auctions in the last 50 years. Snoopy's will at last be putting to auction the treasures of the great Rajah, including his priceless ruby, the Eye of the Tiger. Like the song? Am I mistaking it? Is the song title right? Isn't it? No, I'm gonna check. I don't want to be saying the wrong things. Like the song, right? Okay, I found a song called Eye of the Tiger, but I got confused with Katy Perry's Roar for some reason. But there is a song called Eye of the Tiger. Good to know. Don't hate me. Harry Potter sent us a special invite so we can nip in first and cop the best seats. Cool. No way would I have enough cash to nab stuff, but it sounds like it'll be fun to watch. Let's go, Stakaze. Sure, Jake, let's go. I'm just going to go on the premise that we are distant cousins. Me and the twins. We are kind of distant cousins, or maybe second cousins or something. Alright, we are kind of related. That's why we are so good at investigating. It's in the blood. Is this the first time we've been to Snoopy's? I'm sure I would have remembered a place called Snoopy's. Alright. That's weird. The sign on the door said auction postponed, and they haven't set up the chairs or anything. What's going on? Ye gods, the humiliation, the priceless Eye of the Tiger, stolen right from under our noses. And who, may I ask, is this fiend McCavity again? McCavity, Stakaze, this sounds like a case for the Eagle Eyes. Yeah, I know. Alright, let's go. This is madness and outrage. I can only assume that the special security team, what is wrong with me? We hired to guard that ruby. The ruby was bought off by that feline-obsessed pilferer McCavity, then question them. McCavity's note hints that the ruby has been hidden in some site around London. We can't go around searching them all. The publicity would kill us. Alright. No problem, Mr. Parker. Stakaze and I will be happy to investigate the disappearance of the ruby for you. Nobody will notice us, I hope. Splendid. You'll have to puzzle out his mysterious message and figure out where the ruby has been hidden. And quickly, too. We can't risk some tourists finding it by chance. Don't worry, Harry. Stakaze and I have dealt with McCavity before. We'll figure it out and get your ruby back before the day's out. Okay, I thought I heard the phone. The Eye of the Tiger. I'm not sure how to give you a name. The Eye of the Tiger is undoubtedly the most famous and valuable ruby in the world. Its story begins back before the Raj, the British government of India. Legend has it that a Maharaja, a prince of India, out hunting one day, shot a one-eyed tiger and followed it to its lair. But when he got there, the tiger had disappeared, and all that remained of him was a huge ruby, red as blood and big as a tiger's eye. Alright? See, I told you it was related to India. Of all the treasures of India we have here for auction today, it is certainly the most important. We took special security precautions to see to it that it would be safe. I can't imagine what went wrong. Well, I have news for you. Things go wrong all the time. Just before the auction this morning, Harry and I went to the safe to retrieve it. All 3 of the guards we hired were gone. Okay, no wonder you can't question them then. And in the ruby's place, we found a note. It's vital that we get the ruby back, Jake. As well as hundreds of thousands of pounds, Snoopy's reputation is at stake. Well, yeah. Let's see what he left us this time. The note is patched together out of newspaper and magazine clippings. Alright, let's go. The tiger's bright bauble is the apple of my eye, but today you can find it, for I let it lie. The apple of my eye. Alright. Hidden in the open, close to England's heart, not far away at all, to give you a good start. So it's in the open. It's the apple of his eye? What? This clue will I leave you, a British Star of India. Near the Scottish scone, the man who would be king will have the tiger's tone. The man who would be king. Just so, signed McCavity. Sounds like gibberish to me, Starkazi, but knowing McCavity, it probably all points to the place where we'll find the eye of the tiger. Hey, look at this, McCavity's notice pasted on the back of a book cover. The book's title is The Elephant's Child by Rudyard Kipling. Maybe that's a clue too. We could find out more about him at the British Museum's library. Harry and I have been pondering the note all morning. I think the Star of India is that huge diamond in the crown jewels at the Tower of London. But I'm sure he's hidden the ruby at Madame Tussauds Wax Museum. The man who would be king? They have plenty of kings there, and queens, and stars too for that matter. Man, there's a lot of things going on outside right now and it's pretty distracting. Let me close my window. Alright, I've closed my window. Don't worry, Starkazi. Don't worry. Starkazi and I will run around to those places and see what clues we can find. We'll go to the zoo too. I'm sure we can find an elephant's child there. Jake. Oh, well, okay, fine. We'll see. I won't judge. Actually, we'll go to the Madame Tussauds first. Hello. Is that Gandhi? If the ruby's here at the Wax Museum, anyone could find it. This place is always packed with tourists. Let's ask Mrs. Dunbar if there is any connection between Madame Tussauds and a Star of India or the man who would be king. I've thought of something crazy. What if McCavity is someone we know? Who could it be? Well, it is a kid's game, but it might pull off a twist. Maybe it's just a thought. I could be wrong. I probably am. But just thinking. Of course, lots of our displays here are kings, and even more are stars. Madame Tussauds Wax Museum has thousands of wax models of royalty, film stars, and other famous celebrities. Actors of the stage and screen fill our displays. I can't remember any that would fit the category of a Star of India though. Here. Here. Do you have any famous people from India here? Certainly, probably the most famous is a historical figure, Mahatma Gandhi. He was a great leader during India's struggle for independence. I suppose people might say he was a star of India. Yes. Sure. The guidebook says that Mohandas K. Gandhi. How did he become Mahatma? Oh, alright. Okay, never mind. I read ahead. Was a spiritual and political leader in India beginning in 1917. Over time, people gave him the title Mahatma, which means wise man. Gandhi sought to free India from the oppressive rule of the British Empire. Instead of starting a war as Americans did to gain freedom, Gandhi used peaceful protest and negotiation. Well, Gandhi, good job. He encouraged his followers to demonstrate against the harsh rules and unfair taxes of the British government. Against the harsh rules and unfair taxes with non-violent civil disobedience, alright? In his protests, hundreds of thousands of people would gather and march through city streets to show how much they wanted freedom. This kind of protest was later used in America by such civil rights leaders as Martin Luther King Jr. Gandhi also was dedicated to helping the poor. He very much respected the simple work of people's hands. Alright. Every day he would spin cotton into thread as a reminder of the work that people do. Today the flag of the Republic of India bears a spinning wheel in his honor. Wow. Gandhi's gentle persuasion and logical arguments helped India convince the British to withdraw the colonial government in 1947 and allow the Indian people to rule themselves. Tragically, Gandhi's peaceful life ended in violence when a religious fanatic assassinated him in Delhi in 1948. I didn't know he was assassinated. That's mean. That's more than mean, of course. Wow. London Zoo. Alright, Jake, we are going to see your elephant's child now. There's an elephant's child right now with Mr. Potter. I forgot to wait for the song to end. There's an elephant's child right now with Mr. Potter. I wonder if it's an Indian elephant. It might be. Why yes, Mickey here isn't it an Indian elephant? You can tell her because of her small ears and humped back. Have we met her before? I feel like we have. These elephants are quite a prize in India. They can be trained to do all kinds of useful things, from carrying people to tearing down trees. Well, we're trying to hunt down a British style of India, Mr. Potter. Do you think that might have anything to do with Mickey? A British style of India? I imagine that an elephant might be thought of as a star of India because they're so useful there, but I'm afraid Mickey is not British at all. British style of India. She and her mother are on loan from a rubber tree farm in India, alright. What a cute baby elephant, Stakaze. Whenever I see a little animal like this, I always want to pet it. I know sometimes animals, especially wild animals, don't like to be played with, so I don't touch them unless the zookeeper says it's okay. Good for you, Jake. Good for you. Let's go. Next. British Museum. Alright, we're gonna read up on something. I cannot remember what. Oh, right. Rudyard Kipling. McCavity's note was stuck to the cover of a book by Rudyard Kipling. This would be a good place to find out about him. Okay, Stakaze, what kind of books should we look in to find out about Rudyard Kipling? Maybe his books? Or are we talking about the writer himself? Then that. Yes. Right, the biography book is the one we want to look in first. Rudyard Kipling was born of British parents in 1865 in Bombay, India. At that time, India was part of the British Empire. So although born in India, Kipling was a citizen of Britain. Oh. Give me a moment, I need to cough. Okay, I get it. Kipling was sent back to England at a young age to be educated, but he never forgot the wonderful folk tales and stories his Indian nanny told him. These stories heavily influenced his most famous works, The Jungle Book and Just So Stories. When he was 16, Kipling rejoined his family in India. Soon he became a journalist in the northwestern area of India known as the Punjab. Okay. Here he wrote many poems and short stories about the lives of British soldiers in India, including the man who would be king. His stories really helped people in England imagine what India was like. The lives of British soldiers in India. Can I find that book? Or at least more information about that book, please? In 1889, Kipling and his family returned to England, where he was greatly admired as a poet and author. In 1907, he received the Nobel Prize for Literature. He died in 1936 and is buried at Westminster Abbey. Wow, the Pulitzer Prize. I still don't know how to pronounce that. Kipling must have been a real star writer to get that. Can I have a look at the book? Here's a book about India under the British Empire. British influence in India began in the year 1600 when the British East India Company was chartered. Alright, in 1757, they succeeded in throwing out the French and Dutch colonies, and over the next centuries established British rule over most of the India. In 1857, the company's Indian soldiers revolted, and troops of the British Crown stepped in to restore order. This is when the British government began to control India, a rule that was called the British Raj. Queen Victoria was even crowned Empress of India in 1877. Wow, alright. Good to know. By 1918, the British ruler of the Indian Empire, called the Viceroy, I don't know how to pronounce that, actually ruled over 1/6 of the people on Earth. Whoa, what? Britain controlled many provinces directly, but many others were run by Indian princes called Rajahs, who supported British rule. We know why, I guess, because they're rich. Maybe. I don't know. Ignore that. Although British rule brought roads and railways, factories and schools, many Indian citizens dreamed of ruling their own country. In 1885, they founded the Indian National Congress, which tried to persuade Britain to let the people of India control their own country. Alright? Around 1920, control of the Congress passed to a dynamic man who preached non-violent protest, Mohandas K. Gandhi. His philosophy inspired millions of Indian people to join massive protests against British rule. Finally, in 1947, the British withdrew from India. When the British left, the Indian Empire broke into pieces. Today, those pieces are the independent countries of India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. Alright. Let's go to the very far one, Tower of London. Will we see a British soldier statue or something? this is definitely a new background. It's a new scene, and I saw something shiny there. That looks like a crown. We'll check it out in a while. Wow, check out all these jewels, Sakaze. I can't even believe they're real. This sure seems like a good place to stash a famous ruby. It'd be right at home here. Something shiny there. A Star of India? Well, we do have some rather spectacular stones from India in the collection, Jake, but we don't have one named that precisely. We do, of course, have the Stars of Africa, the huge diamonds cut from the largest diamond ever found. That may be what Sondra Trent was thinking of when she sent you here. I don't think so. Some other great diamonds are from India, though, like the Kohinoor? It's the oldest diamond in the collection and one of the most mysterious. In what way? Is that it? The guidebook says the crown jewels contain some of the largest and most famous precious stones in the world. The Star of Africa is the largest cut diamond in the world. It's that huge one in the scepter. That other big one in that crown is called the Second Star of Africa. It says here that they were both cut from the Cullinan diamond found in South Africa. I guess that's not the Star of India we're looking for. Yeah. The Koh-i-Noor. I guess it sounds like that, maybe. Or Mountain of Light, but I'm not sure. The Koh-i-Noor or Mountain of Light diamond is from India. It says here that this diamond was found in 1655 and was given to Queen Victoria in 1850 by the directors of the British East India Company. In one of the legends about the diamond, two greedy brothers fought over it, so it's supposed to be unlucky for a man to wear it. That's why it's in the Queen's consort crown. Alright. Okay, last venue, the Westminster Abbey. Alright. The biography of Kipling at the British Museum's library said that Kipling is buried here at Westminster Abbey. Let's see if we can find out where. Kipling is buried here? Like there, maybe? Oh, that's a chair. What a weird looking star. Sorry. What a weird looking chair, Stakaze. The plaque says Coronation Chair of Edward. Okay, I had another interruption from my phone. Alright, that's so much interruptions and distractions here today. Okay, let's just continue with this and hope there's no more interruptions. What a weird looking chair, Sakaze. The plaque says Coronation Chair of Edward I. Let's see what our guidebook has to say about it. The Coronation Chair of Edward I was designed to hold the famed Stone of Scone. So, Stone of Scone, which Edward I captured from the Scottish in I can't pronounce. In the year 1296, maybe 1296. How do you say that? I'm not sure. In 1296, I guess. Okay, sounds weird. Since legend has it that the kings of Scotland were all crowned upon this stone, Edward wished the stone to be placed in the coronation chair of the kings and queens of England. This placement symbolized the fact that the ruler of England would now also be the ruler of Scotland. Okay. Rudyard Kipling's tomb lies in Poets' Corner, the section of Westminster Abbey devoted to great writers from Britain and around the world. This place sure is huge. Let's see if the guidebook can help us find our way around. The guidebook says that historical Westminster Abbey was built on the site of a Benedictine monastery. Right. The king, known as Edward the Confessor, built a new church here in 1065, but that was pulled down in 1245 by Henry III. Alright. The man who first designed the building was called Henry de Waynes. It took 100 years just to build the inner section called the nave. Wow! The coronation or official crowning of every English monarch since William the Conqueror in 1066 has taken place in Westminster Abbey. Okay. Well, this is what happens when I get interrupted so many times I don't get a chance to actually absorb certain information properly. So now I'm not sure where to go. Great. Alright. So I'm gonna solve. But before I solve, I need to think. Alright, so we have now you know what? Let's look at the things first. So we have Mahatma Gandhi, Rudyard Kipling, Crown Jewels, or Mickey. It's probably Rudyard Kipling, I think. I mean, it's the only one that makes sense. Well, he's kind of... I don't know. Alright, let's see. Okay, let's go. I think we can figure out which star of India McCavity hit the ruby near. Pick the clues that show which star will guide us to the eye of the tiger. You know that thing where there's the stone there? Maybe I can have that. No. Scottish stone or scone is set in the coronation chair of Edward I. I think the stone will be there. The Star of Africa, no. Wait, it's a Koh-i-Noor again? Alright. It was given to Queen Victoria, and I'm not sure that... Gandhi protested... No, Gandhi, no. Koh-i-Noor diamond is from India. It's the oldest diamond in the crown jewels. Hang on. Rudyard Kipling received the Nobel Prize for Literature. He's buried at Westminster Abbey. The British control India from 1757. No. No. I mean, I could do these and these, but then I'm not sure. Was born in 1865. At that time, India was part of the British Empire. I need a British Star of India near the Scottish scone. The man who would be king will have the tiger stone. That might just be it. That's it. Now choose the British Star of India that you think the ruby is hidden near. It's Rudyard Kipling.
You got it!
You got it, Starkaze. The British Star of India McCavity wrote about was Rudyard Kipling. The ruby is hidden somewhere at the Westminster Abbey, where Kipling is buried. Our first clue was under McCavity's note. It was written on the back of one of Rudyard Kipling's stories, The Elephant's Child. The note said that the ruby could be found near a British Star of India. Rudyard Kipling was a British citizen, but he was born in India, and most of his famous stories were about India. When we looked up Rudyard Kipling in the library, we learned that he wrote the Just So stories and The Man Who Would Be King. McCavity used both those phrases in his notes. Alright, we also learned that Kipling was buried in Westminster Abbey, and that's where we found our final clue, the coronation chair that holds the stone of scone. I completely forgot about that actually. as in the message left by him until I was solving it. From Scotland, the Scottish scone mentioned in the note. Yo, Jennifer, check it out. Check it out. What I just solved. I just beat McCavity at his game. Perhaps. The fabulous Eye of the Tiger Ruby was sold today at a Snootby's auction for the unheard of price of £2 million. We owe the day to Sakaze Gamer. Gushed Snootby's purchasing agent Harry Parker. Sakaze outwitted that fiend McCavity and made today's auction possible. Oh man, that's a lot of words. Snootby's officials had no further comment. I was just like trying to read it for the first time ever. But that's a lot of words. Now I know why I kept quiet on why the auction was delayed. Let us just say that Snootby's owes a debt of gratitude to the Eagle Eye Detective Agency and their sleuthing bravado, said Sondra Trent, auctioneer. The ruby, thought to be the largest in the world, was purchased for £2 million in cash by a mysterious cloaked figure who departed the auction with the stone immediately after the sale. Who might be McCavity too? Sometimes I feel like there's something deeper going on here, but I'm not sure. Say that Snoopy's owes. Alright. Okay, so that's it for this case. So I was not expecting so much interruptions. Oh, okay, so the next case will be Case of the Cairo Curse. Alright, another Egyptian thing. Let's hope the hieroglyphics does not appear. I hope so. It was fun, but it was kind of difficult because it doesn't match up quite well. Alright, so I'll see you in the next case, which is Case of the Cairo Curse. So until the next time, thank you for watching and goodbye.